guys, Mrs. Morris here. Um, Thank you for letting me come into your class today. Sorry that I'm actually not able to be there in person, but I'm glad that I can be here for you via video. So today, well, first of all, I wanted to tell you something, a conversation that Miss Wilson and I have had. We have noticed that every single time we send you guys off to go and write, you have you're amazing at coming up and with a thesis and supporting your thesis, and you guys are able to come up with ideas. It seems like it used to be that in the beginning we would send you off and some people would just sit there and not be able to write, and that is not a problem for anyone anymore, which is really amazing, and that is called generating ideas. So here behind me, I'm going to refer to this quite a bit, and it is a graphic organizer. And this actually has to do with goals, which is what we're going to talk about today. So what we were just talking about is called generating ideas, because you are able to come up with ideas. You're not getting stuck. Like, these are all kind of places that you could be tricky places that you would get stuck in your writing, and or things that we would want to work on. And generating ideas, I would say, for really the whole class is like you guys are gaining control of that. So awesome job. I have a couple of things for you today, but like always, let's start with, well, what is the purpose of today's lesson? The purpose of today's lesson is that we can continue to grow as writers by setting writing goals. So your goal for today is to be able to create a goal that is your next step in writing, and then to come up with a plan for that goal. So let me just first talk to you about one of my personal goals. Right now, one of my personal goals is to drink more water. One of my favorite things is Diet Coke, and I know that it isn't that great for me, and I need to increase or drink more water. So that could be my goal, but how much water do I already drink? Well, the very first thing I had to do is I had to look at how much water I already drink, and I usually drink 1 bottle of water a day. So my goal now is to drink 6 bottles of water a day. Well, I can have that goal, but how am I going to get to that goal? Well, I have to think about the things that keep me from drinking water. Well, one is that I am busy and I move different places all the time. So here I have this sheet, and I'm just going to be thinking about my personal goal, because I think if I show you how to do this, it will help you develop your writing goals. And I'm wanting a marker that you can see, so I may have to get up here. So my goal is to drink more water. Okay, so here you go. Drink more water. Now, this is where I'm going to put my plan. So what are the things I'm going to do that is going to lead me to drinking more water? Because I need to know if I'm getting closer to drinking more water or not. Well, let's see. Well, my first step, I said time is something that I struggle with. So I'm going to keep a water bottle on my cart. Okay, so part of my plan is I'm going to keep water on my cart. So if it's around me more often, then I am more likely to drink it. So I'll put, and I got some small water bottles, and I'm going to put these on my cart. So another part of my plan is to start keeping track. Like, if my goal is to have 6 water bottles, then how can I keep track of it? I'm going to use the penny strategy. So for every time I drink a water bottle, I'm going to put a penny in these little containers I have. And then at the end of the day, like, I can always know where I am to know if I'm getting closer to my goal or not. So these are the steps that I'm going to take, or kind of my plan of how I'm going to get here. Well, we're not really talking about drinking water today. We're really talking about growing as writers. So how does this, what I just showed you, apply? How can we use this as writers? Well, there are some things you've already done. So you had your writing, and you took some things that were your glows, and then these are your grows. So do you remember Elena's writing? Well, when I look at this, I notice that, let's see, I'm going to start up here at the top. And because these things are going to make the biggest difference in writing. Let me show you right here. Look. So focus. All of these things up here have to do with focus and organization. So this is going to be talking about our thesis. Well, Elena had a thesis. So if I'm thinking about Elena's piece, she had a thesis, but her organization and structure, her thesis was at the top, and then she had it organized. So, yep, in fact, look, we have those as a lot of those. Can you see those? A lot of those are actually glows. She did have a couple grows up here. This one is overall, so I'm not going to choose that one because that's not very specific. This is her lead, so that could be a possible goal. This one is her reasons and examples, and that's what I was really thinking, and this is huge right here, elaboration. So which one is going to make the biggest difference? Well, we have a focus. She was okay at organization and structure. She could improve her lead, we said, and maybe some of her supporting details. Her elaboration, we definitely, but that's further down. So let's go ahead and choose organization and structure. So here's what I'm going to do is on here. And so her goal is to I'm going to put engage the audience. Okay, because under organization and structure, one of the things she needs to do is engage the audience. And we know the very first way that was a grow for her. Well, how is she going to engage her audience? Well, the first thing that she could do would be to talk to her audience. And I'm going to use A for audience in the lead, because that is going to help her to engage her audience. So she talks to, and by talking to, I mean maybe asking a question or thinking about what they care about. That is another strategy. Think about what her audience cares about. So let me go back to talking to an audience. So she could pretend like they're standing in front of her. And what would she say to them so that they would begin to care about what she was talking about? So number one, talk to the audience. And then number two, what did we just say? We said a second part of her plan would be to talk to the audience. And then, think about what she cares about. And these boxes are small. Okay, so this says talk to the A is audience in lead. Think what, and I didn't put do they care about, and I actually could have just put care about in this. I think if I had to do this over, I would just write care about or think care about, because I just want the words that are going to capture things that I know I can do to engage my audience. Now, some of these are going to be left blank because there might be some things that you don't know that your teacher and I will come around, and as we're conferring with you, we can give you other strategies that will help you get to your goal. But today, remember, you're successful if you can choose your goal. So you're going to use this, but probably most importantly, So you're going to use this, your checklist. But most importantly, you are going to use your writing. So you're going to take a couple minutes and go back through your writer's notebooks, and I want you to choose 3 samples. You're going to read the 3 samples, and then you're going to go to your opinion rubric or your opinion checklist. And then you're going to decide, because you did this a while ago, your glows may still be the same, but your grows may have changed. And then this poster's hanging in your room. You start up here and you're gonna come down. You guys are beyond composing pictures. You guys are beyond engagement because you're all writing. That is really not a goal for you. Generating ideas, we said, check, we got that. So your goal is either gonna be about focus. Your goal is going to be about organization and structure. And organization and structure could be audience awareness. It could be coming up with details that support your focus. And then if you've got that, you can come down to elaboration. This is tricky because this is saying more about like supporting whatever your details are. So supporting each of those details, saying more about that. This often is where a lot of people end up landing. It might be vocabulary or word choice. These down here are likely not where you're going to be. Everybody is kind of working on these. I talked about editing for these, and this is spelling and grammar and punctuation. So, but that today, you're not going to choose these as your goal, because those are the things as a writer that we focus on last, but you should be thinking about throughout your piece. So, but as far as a goal, the things that are going to change your writing the most, the further up toward focus you are, so here to here, these are going to impact, 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to impact your writing the most. So audience awareness might be one. Supporting your thesis could be a goal. You probably already are thinking of what your goal is going to be. And then I want you to go back through your lessons and think, are there lessons, and use the anchor charts that we have, are there lessons that actually helped you that we might help you get to that goal? And Miss Wilson will be around too. Thanks so much. You guys get busy.